Hello and welcome to Thought Chakra. So, this is a new prelims 5-minute series where we would be covering important questions from the topics that have appeared in the previous year papers of UPSC Civil Services prelims exam. So, let's say, for example, there is a subject called polity in which there is a topic called president. So, all the questions that have appeared in the previous year paper, based on that pattern, we would be giving you questions and you would have to try and solve the questions. So, we would be coming up with 5 to 6 questions on a daily basis. Okay, and you need to pause the video after every question is asked and then try to solve the question. And after the 5 to 6 questions, you can do is you can comment your answers in the comment section down below. Okay, so the first question is regarding the constitutional amendment in India. Okay, so the constitutional amendment bill, the private member cannot introduce a constitutional amendment bill. It has missed the bill part in it, the question. It would be constitutional amendment bill in India. So the first statement is the private member of parliament cannot introduce constitutional amendment in bill. The second statement is prior permission of the president is not required for the introduction of constitutional amendment bill. The prior permission for the introduction of it. And special days are reserved for introducing constitutional amendment bills. Pause the video, try to choose the most appropriate answer from the options given. Okay, so answer to this question is 2 only. Why is the first statement wrong? Because the private member is also allowed to introduce a constitutional amendment bill in the parliament. Okay, a minister or a private member both can introduce it. Prior permission of the president is not required. It is correct. It is only required in the case of money bill. For introducing a money bill, the president's approval is necessary, but for the case of constitutional amendment bill, it is not necessary. And special days are reserved for introducing constitutional amendment bills. So this particular statement is not correct. Why? Because the special days are not reserved for introducing the constitutional amendment bills. Rather, it is kept for the private members bill, which would be introduced in the parliament. So you need to comment down below what is the time period between which what is the special day that we are talking about when the private members bill are introduced. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Okay, so let's see the second question. First statement is the period spanning between the prorogation of the House of the Parliament and its reassembly in a new session is called recess. So what is recess? The statement of recess has been made. President can prorogue the House while in session. While the House is in session, the President can prorogue it. And the third statement is when the House of the Parliament is adjourned without naming a day of reassembly, it is called adjournment sine die. So 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3 and 2 only. Okay. So all the three statements are correct. So let's revisit the statements. The first statement says that recess. What is recess? Recess is basically the time period which spans between the prorogation of the House. Say for example, the House has been prorogued. The House of the Parliament has been prorogued by the President. And then later on in a new session, after the budget session, there is a new session. And during the time of the reassembly and the time when the president had prorogued the session, that time period is called the recess. So that first statement would be correct. President can prorogue the House while in session. How can he do that? First, what happens is the presiding officer of the House, say for example the Speaker or the Chairman, he declares that the House is adjourned sine die. Okay, so when the House is adjourned sine die, there is no particular date on which the speaker or the chairman says that okay, on this particular date we would be reassembling. So what happens after few days is, after the few days of the presiding officer adjourning the House sine die, the president issues a notification for the prorogation of the session. Okay, so the president would be declaring the prorogation and the parliament or the presiding officer, he would be declaring the adjournment sine die. Okay, so through the explanation you would have understood that the third statement will also be correct, because the adjournment sine die is something in which the House of the Parliament is adjourned without naming a particular day of reassembly. Okay, so all the three statements are correct in this. Okay, so moving to the third question, consider the following statements regarding non-confidence motion. It can be moved only in the Lok Sabha or State Assembly as the case may be. It is moved against the entire Council of Ministers and not individual members or the private members. Which of the following statements is incorrect? Okay, so the statements question asks for the incorrect statements. 1 only, 2 only, both, 1 and 2 and neither 1 or 2. Okay, so take a pause and try to answer the question. Okay, so the answer is neither 1 nor 2, which means that both the statements are correct, because the answer is question is asking for the incorrect statements, and if none of them is correct, both the statements are correct. Okay, none of them is incorrect. The conditions related to non-confidence motion are, it can be moved both in the Lok Sabha as well as the State Assembly. Okay, but it cannot be moved in the Rajya Sabha or State Legislative Council. Okay, so in the Rajya Sabha or the State Legislative Council, such kind of a no confidence motion cannot be moved. Okay, so hence the first statement is correct. Second, it is moved against the entire Council of Ministers and not individual members or private members is also correct. Okay, so these are the direct statements which you need to know. The confidence, no confidence motion cannot be moved against individual members, but it has to be moved against the entire Council of Ministers, as well as it can only be started in the Lok Sabha or in the State Assembly, not in the Rajya Sabha or the Constituent State Legislative Council. Okay. So coming to the fourth question, so let's see the question. The Parliament can abolish a legislative council only. So the question is asking what is the condition on by which the legislative council can be abolished by the Parliament. So the first option is if a constitutional amendment act to that effect is passed by the Parliament with a special majority. So the second option is if the Parliament approves the resolution by a simple majority which has been passed by a special majority in the State Assembly. Like the State Assembly has passed the resolution by a special majority, and after that Parliament with a simple majority approves the resolution. The third option is if the Legislative Assembly of the concerned state passes an ordinary bill to the effect. And the fourth option is the President approves so after receiving a written report from the Governor of the state. Okay. So when a governor of the state writes a written report to the president has to approve it. The president has the right to approve it. So which of the following options you think is correct? Pause the video and try to answer. Okay. So the correct answer would be, the correct answer is not shown. It would be the second option. What is the second option? Let's see the second option. If the Parliament approves the resolution by a simple majority, which has already been passed by the special majority in the State Assembly, the correct answer. Okay. So first, what happens is the State Assembly, what it does is it passes a particular resolution which is passed with a special majority. Okay. A special majority in the State Assembly leads to the Parliament to take the next step of approval where it passes the resolution by a simple majority. Okay. The Constitution provides for the abolition and creation of Legislative Council of India. The President can abolish the Parliament can abolish a council where it already exists. Or create it if the Legislative Assembly of the concerned state passes a resolution to the effect which has to be passed with a special majority, which means that the majority of the total membership of the Assembly and majority of not less than 2/3 members of the Assembly present and voting. So this would be the special majority. Okay. What do you mean by effective majority? If you can write in the comment section, we would look to it. Okay, so the last question is which of the following statements regarding 0 hour are correct? Okay, so first statement is the 0 hour is an Indian innovation to the field in the field of parliamentary procedure. Second statement is the time gap between the question hour and the agenda of the hour of the house is known as 0 hour. Okay, one only, two only, both one and two, neither one two. Okay, so both the statements are correct. That is, the 0 hour is an Indian innovation. It is an Indian innovation to the field of parliamentary procedures, and it has been in existence since the 1962. Okay, so what is basically 0 hour? 0 hour is something that particular hour which starts immediately after the question hour, and it lasts until the agenda for the day. That is the regular business which is taking place in the house is taken up. So it is the time frame. It is the time period between the question hour. After the question hour, you mean the question hour has ended, and after that the 0 hour starts and it lasts until the agenda of the day. Okay. Okay. So the 0 hours is not mentioned in the rules of procedure, and it is also an informal device which is available for the members in order to raise the questions without any prior notice. Okay. So if there is a particular agenda which the opposition tries to, bring into limelight, so it can use the 0 hour which is not mentioned in the rules of procedures. It is basically an informal device where a particular concerned matter can be raised in the parliament. Okay, so that would be the time gap between the question hour and the agenda is known as the 0 hour. Okay. So that's all for today. These were the 5 questions that we tried to solve. We will be coming up with more in this particular series, and stay tuned for more and try to solve as many test papers as possible. And again, please subscribe to the channel if you're new to this, and we would be coming up with more and more preparatory videos as well as different videos which would be relevant for UPSC as well as the state civil services exam. We would also try to cover both the previous year papers as well as the analysis part of it, everything would be covered in the coming lectures. Okay, so stay tuned.